Okay, this is the last section to, well, it might not be the last section, we'll see. But this is the third part to the shadow box tutorial. Basically, from the front of the box, you have got this lovely frame that just has these neat little windows. And on the back, right now, you have just applied all these adhered all these boxes to the face frame, and I have gone back through and very carefully adhered all of these little pieces that cross over to each other so that things are stuck really good in place. Now, I guess you can have a couple of choices here. If you'd like to put a face frame on the back so that you have a shadow box that's completely see-through and finished on both sides, or you can go ahead and do that and adhere this back to it so that it has a wall on the back. You can do it either way. So if you choose not to use the large piece, you wouldn't need to cut that. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the face frame on and go ahead and show you how to finish off the box. And then if we want to put the wall on the back, we can still do that at the very end. So right now I'm going to go around and put some adhesive on all these little flaps so that we can get the face frame put into place. And I am very generous with my glue because I just want things to stay put. I don't want them to come apart. And hopefully I have enough glue to last through this entire tutorial because I'm getting kind of low. Okay, I'm just going through all these intersections, and here's a little part that's not glued down to my liking, so I'm going to put a little glue inside of there. On here, and I'm going to start working a little bit faster because I don't want this to dry before I get done. Okay, now I'm going to take my face frame, make sure you've got it rotated the right direction, and go ahead and place it right on top of all of those glue flaps. Once you have it right in place, you can start putting a little more pressure on things. I want to make sure it's lined up really well. You kind of have to move a little bit faster through this part so your glue doesn't dry. Okay, where I can, I'm going to go ahead and pinch between my fingers to make sure that's sealed really well. Around the edges, you can do that easily. Through the middle, you just kind of have to put some pressure on it. But it's pretty strong at this point. So, okay. This is looking really nice. We have this cute shadow box that you have made out of paper. And now all we need to do is finish off the edges. It's open and raw on the edges right now. So this is where our 4 pieces that are long and don't have any perforations through the middle come into play. I'm going to put my camera down just a little bit. Okay, you have a reinforcement strip that's going to go on the top. I included that because I didn't want the ribbon over time to make the box sag if you choose to hang it. If for some reason you don't want to hang this project, you could eliminate those holes before you cut it out, just depending on how you'd like to display it. I'm going to go ahead and fold these glue flaps so that it forms a nice square side. And on the side that has the holes, I'm going to go ahead and glue that inside. Definitely not on the outside. Glue it on the inside so that it's not seen, but it will add some reinforcement. And you could choose to cut that out of heavier paper, or if you'd like to hand cut it, you could cut it out of chipboard, or a light chipboard you could probably run through the silhouette. I'm going to line up those holes and just glue that down. That gives this whole side a nice heavy reinforcement so that it doesn't sag over time. Okay, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and fold all my other glue flaps at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to try not to fold farther than 90 degrees because it's going to be a little bit easier for me to glue that down if it's not over folded, if that makes sense. If you fold it too far, they're going to want to, it's not going to have the rigidity that it needs to hold when you're trying to glue that on. It's like just a nice 90-degree angle is perfect. Okay, while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and fold the glue flap on the end as well. want to fold too tight, but I also don't want to fold too little because I want the sides to be nice and crisp too. So getting those just where they're a nice 90-degree angle is just perfect. Okay, that is 3 of the sides, and here's the last side. Okay, and then of course those little glue flaps are going to get folded as well. Now, I am going to go ahead, and you'll need to decide which is your top and your sides. If you want, I probably am going to, let's see, if you want this space to be vertical, let's see, I'll probably do that with my box. So this is, you cannot see that very well, I'm so sorry. Okay, this is probably how I'll orient mine, but you could choose to orient it any way you would like. But once you've decided where the top is, you're going to want to take your piece that has the hole in it, and you're going to want to adhere this to the inside to finish off that top neatly. And you're going to have this little glue flap at the corner that's going to glue the next section to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue, and I think I'll go ahead and work directly on the box with the glue. Just do, I'm going to start with one side of that. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of lay this flat. This is probably going to be one of the more difficult tasks of this box, is getting this outside edge in place. I'm kind of going to have to stand it up, I think, and it's looking really good though. Just make sure that it's positioned right to the corners so that it ends up being perfectly square. Okay, while that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the other side. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the ribbon in place. I'm going to go ahead and do that before I glue that other side. I'm really glad that I caught that. I cut a piece of pink ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and thread that through. In fact, I'm going to detach it and thread that through. Okay, and then once I have that through, I'm going to tie a knot. It's going to hold this in place inside your box. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on the other hole. You could use any ribbon that you choose. I chose pink because this will, I don't know where it'll land, might end up in my office or in my daughter's room or something like that. Okay, and you need to kind of decide how long you want that ribbon for hanging, and then I'm going to twist it to kind of keep it all going the same way. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, well, how much ribbon do I want? That's probably good. Okay, and then, of course, my scissors have disappeared. Where did I leave those last? Oh. Let's see. Just a moment. Oh, here they are, right on me. Okay. I'm going to trim that off. And trim the other one off too, just so we're not fighting any extra bulk inside of here. Now you have your ribbon attached, and we need to close up this box. And we started to do that once, so we'll just start that again. I'll probably show you how to do a couple of sides. Well, yeah. See, I obviously hope this glue lasts for the rest of the project. Now, I would not recommend putting this together with any sort of tape runner. Your box will spontaneously combust in a few days and it won't be pretty, you won't like it. So go ahead and just use a good paper glue. I like a zip dry paper glue right there, and I buy it at Hobby Lobby. It's a red lid, just like that. And finding that edge. Okay, there we go. Now, like I said before, make sure your corners match exactly, or your box is going to end up being skiwampus. Okay. Okay, it is absolutely the cutest thing ever. I am so excited. It's getting really cute. Okay, now for the next side. So you're going to want to take one of your pieces and you're going to want to make sure you use a straight edge against one of your notched edges so that your next notch will connect to the next piece. Don't put two notches together, in other words. So now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on this side. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing over here. And I'm going to put a little bit on that notch that hangs out. And then I'm going to line that up and slide that whole thing inside. You need to keep all of your seams on the inside. You don't want them hanging out. Okay, make sure this lines up just perfect at the corners. Okay. This is looking so neat. Okay, the next side, we're ready for that. And I think I'll go ahead and put this all the way together so we can see it finished, and even though this makes for a really long tutorial, you can always fast forward. Of course, if you don't want to hang this, you would not need to cut those holes and you would not need to insert your ribbon. You might want to just use it as a decoration on a shelf, something like that. So I am trying to work fairly quickly so that glue doesn't dry on me. And push that around into place and hold everything together. Just square. This is wanting to fight me just a little on the side here. Give it a little pressure against the table. Okay. Now for our last side. Okay, before I can do any more tutorials, I have got to get a new bottle of glue, because this one is just not out. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this little flap as well. Okay, let's put that into place. This is our last side, and our shadow box will be complete. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. The thing I absolutely love about the zip dry glue is if you have a little extra anywhere, it just rubs right off, which is wonderful. And if you're noticing a little corner that's not quite glued down the way you like, you can always tuck a little more glue in there. this edge here is a little bit looser than I would like it to be. So I'm going to try and sneak a little glue if I can. Right over there. Okay, look how stinking cute this is. It is just going to be the greatest little decoration piece.